Then they released an interesting album. If you want to, it's not a studio album; it's a remix album called Mixed Up, um, which is various Cure tracks. Some of their most famous Cure tracks, some of their most popular Cure tracks. Obviously remixed, given a bit of the dance music treatment. This was 1990. Dance music was a big thing in the UK at the time, with the whole rave thing, acid house thing, and then the rave thing. 1990s sort of like the period in between. But dance music was big in the UK around this time, and yeah, The Cure obviously decided to release remixes of their tracks, with a bit of dance flavour, and some of them are quite interesting. I mean, they're not all great, but some of them sound very similar to the original, just with a bit of a dance beat to them or something. But some of them are really reworked in some quite interesting ways. An interesting kind of dub version of one of the tracks, I forget which one, but and then there's another one that's just real interestingly bleepy and kind of sparse, and yeah. Anyway, but there's some interesting works on there. It's not an essential Cure record by any means. It's not even that good for the most part, but it has its moments of interesting remixes of Cure tracks that I think, someone who really, really likes The Cure might want to check out just for, how interesting some of the remixes are. But it's not an essential by any means, and arguably it's not really that good. Then we've got Wish, which may be the most famous Cure album, because people who aren't usually into The Cure no doubt know a track like Friday I'm in Love, which seems to be the track by The Cure that most non-Cure fans know. And I mean, Wish is funny. It feels a bit bloated, like there's too much material here, not all of it's that good. So it feels like, but it has definite high points where you feel like if you got rid of some of them more fillery, bloated tracks and just had the gems on the album together, it would be an amazing album. Because to be honest, like tracks like High, which is quite a poppy, jangly kind of track with a heartbreak kind of lyric in it, and A Letter to Elise, another track which is pure heartbreak but quite accessibly poppy as well. And then the real heartbreak tracks on the album, like Apart and Trust. Plus some other good moments, like Cut and Doing the Unstuck and stuff. There's good tracks on it, and Friday I'm in Love, the one everyone knows. You have the makings here of a really great Cure album, and as such, it is a good Cure album. But I do feel like there's a bit too much to it, and not all of it's that interesting, so it's a bit bloated. And on the Wish, I mean, the lineup's a little different. Well, the main difference is you now have Perry Bamonte on guitars and keyboards instead of Lol Tolhurst. But basically the rest of the band is still that classic lineup: Robert Smith and Simon Gallup and Paul Thompson and Boris Williams. Then we get the period of The Cure that I'm not so familiar with. Because basically I lost interest after Wish, to be honest, a little bit. I didn't lose interest in the band because I still loved their older songs. I've just not really bothered checking out their newer releases, to be honest. But the next release, 1996, which is not a good album, it's not considered a good album by any Cure fans as far as I can tell. It's pretty much universally disliked. Very different lineup. We've got Roger O'Donnell again on keyboards. We've got new members, because other than that it was basically Robert Smith and Simon Gallup. Who from the old members. We've got Perry Bamonte still, and we've got Jason Cooper on drums. And yeah, so it's a very different lineup to their classic lineups. And yeah, it's not a very good album, to be honest. But then the same lineup did release Bloodflowers in 2000, which is generally regarded as a good Cure album, and I have listened to it on Spotify, and it is good. I'm not that familiar with it, having only listened to it once or twice. Although I love the opening track, Out of This World. That reminds me of The Cure I know and love, and I just love that track. But Bloodflower is a good album, from what I understand. That was in the year 2000. I haven't got a clue about the music on the later ones, having not really heard them at all. This is true, I've never actually listened to any of their albums after Bloodflowers at all. But in 2004 they released an album called with a self-titled album. It's just called The Cure in 2004, and I think people like it. In 2008 they released 413 Dream, now just 4 members, Robert Smith, Paul Thompson, Simon Gallup and Jason Cooper, and yeah, they released 413 Dream in 2008. I don't know what people think of that, to be honest. But in April of this year, 2018, Robert Smith did announce that The Cure were heading into the studio to record a new album. And it's planned to release in 2019, making, I suppose, this guide to The Cure quite fitting and timely after all. But yes, I love The Cure. Mainly I know their stuff from the 80s and the very early 90s. That's pretty much The Cure that I love so much. I'm aware that Bloodflowers is also quite good. I have no clue at all what they sound like after Bloodflowers. Perhaps I'd better check those albums out at some point. But yeah, The Cure are special. They're just emotionally, lyrically, musically, they just touch my life in a massive way. From my teens all the way through to my adult years, they've just always been there as a band that I've held in very high esteem, and just find their music very relatable but also weird enough to be interesting as well, and beautiful, emotional. They can be romantic, they can be poppy and quirky, and they can be very melancholy, and I enjoy all the different forms of The Cure and find their music very enjoyable and very rewarding, and any Cure fan will tell you the same. They are without doubt an extremely, extremely good band that are very special to a lot of people. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We're all different, we're all special. Snowflakes unite.